Taurus, hello, Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. This is going to be your November shift reading. So we're looking at the shape you're shifting out of this month, the shape you shift into, and what that shape shift looks and feels like. Taurus, before we get into your cards, the image that's coming to me for you this month is reading backwards. So there was something about either a situation is being read backwards and or there is benefit in reading something the opposite way or reversing the flow of information in a way that gets you or others to think outside the box, because there's something about, for me, if I'm used to reading left to right, for example, and then I begin to learn a language that reads right to left, it's almost like I'm able to switch a circuit in my brain. It's like if you're right-handed, choosing to, as an exercise, write with your left hand could be a way of tripping hardwired brain circuits that are used to doing something or thinking about something in a certain way. It's like the deliberate act of reading backwards or writing with a non-dominant hand creates new connections in your brain that gets you to think outside of the normal box, or you or someone else. And so that's really the image, that's the energy that's coming through, is there's some sort of a breakthrough in thinking. And I want to show you what that looks like. I've already pre-pulled your cards here from the El Goliath Tarot. I'm pre-pulling here for Scorpio season because there's a lot of energy coming through and I need a little bit of time to sit with the cards before I chat with you. So here's your shapeshift, Taurus. Shifting out of the Nine of Wands, which says the darkness before the dawn, and into the Page of Swords, which says the sword-bearing sister. And I like this. There's this sort of, in both cards, there's this energy of something slashing through or breaking through. It's like the darkness before the dawn is being in this time of, darkness to me is being unable to see, or and that translates into sometimes not knowing where you're going, being unable to see the way through, and the fear and the exhaustion that can bring with it. The Nine of Wands is getting to a point where you can't really take something anymore because you've endured it for so long, like enduring the darkness for so long, and then suddenly the dawn breaks. That's the energy of it, is like, thank God morning came. And with it, with the dawn, some sort of illumination, some sort of new understanding, some sort of breakthrough. And I'm seeing that as translating into the Page of Swords, which for me sometimes can be learning something new or learning new information or seeing something differently. This page in particular feels like a revelatory messenger. This bird feels like, the sword-bearing sister. This one comes in bearing a message. So you or someone else is coming in bearing perhaps a revolutionary message or a new way of thinking that gets people, you or others, to think outside the box. And here's how that shift looks and feels like in November. We have the Knight of Swords, which in this deck is the hooded brother. This card has been coming through for so many signs. It was a through line in the water signs for sure. And it came through a couple of fire sign readings as well. And now here it is again. So this is clearly a collective energy that many of us are dealing with. I'll get into that in a moment. The King of Pentacles, which says the Father of Roses. And then the World card, which is the Sacred Circle. So let's start here with this energy. I have been feeling this, and I feel it for you today, as here's what we're literally seeing in the card. We're seeing a snake entering the den of perhaps prairie dogs, I think they are. And the snake comes into the den clearly to attack, to consume, to feed on this crowd, this group of prairie dogs. And in order to stop them from dispersing or running away, it hypnotizes them. It mesmerizes them. And you can see that with their glowing eyes. They're all sort of mesmerized, arrested by this large, powerful, threatening, perhaps, presence. They seem unable to shake their gaze from this being, this type of display and expression of power. It's slippery. It feels a bit manipulative. It feels, it's a gnarly energy that is very much emphasizing, especially in your reading today, this idea of group think. Because this one being has the power to come in and manipulate an entire group of people. And because it's the Knight of Swords, it's like they're doing that with information and with the way they move, perhaps quickly, erratically, with a lot of intensity, before people have the time to really think about the information that's coming to them. I mean, gosh, this could be the news media. You know what I mean? Like, this could be the president here in the United States, or a person in power where you are in the world, or a person in power in your life that has a lot of power and expresses power in this way. Okay, so take it how it resonates for you. But interestingly, this King of Pentacles energy, this is your energy, Taurus, coming through. And it seems to me, you know, I'm being drawn to the way all of these, I want to say lemmings almost, you know, like the way people get into groupthink and they all sort of look the same. I'm being drawn to the glowing eyes of the tiger coming in with a new perspective, with different information. It's like a breaking through the hypnosis, or breaking through that misinformation, something like that, or breaking the circuit, this sort of mesmerizing circuit of, okay, I've always thought this way, or we all think this way, coming in and breaking that, slicing right through that and saying, hold on, what if we reverse the flow? What if we begin to think in a different way? What if we see through what the information we are being fed and stop just sort of blindly consuming it and go about this in a completely different way? And I like that it's the King of Pentacles, Taurus. Your energy, your earth energy is what's breaking through and seeing through that. Because the earth energy comes in and says, not only do I see through it, but here's a practical, tangible approach to creating tangible change as a result of thinking differently. You know, this is not just thinking differently, but it's thinking differently is the catalyst for tangible change. That's what I'm seeing here. And I love that the World card is here because it's ending. It's putting an end to this. You know, the World card talks about a much larger cycle is completing. And this is what I feel is wanting to complete, or wanting to be brought to an end now. You know, it's like this expression of power. It's time for that to come to an end. And this is how it happens. It's seeing through, right? Breaking through that darkness with a new dawn, with a new understanding or a new way of thinking. I'm also seeing this quite literally as reversing the flow. So if we are all, again, like these are all of the prairie dogs or the lemming or the school of fish, you know, this like group of animals that are all used to flowing in a certain direction. I see that as like, it's very difficult to get these fish to swim another way. And that's what I think this reading is really about, is you, Taurus, or maybe someone in your life coming through and saying, hey, you're all swimming in this one direction, right into the mouth of the snake. Stop swimming in this direction. Go the other way, go the other way. And then that circuit, that pattern beginning to reverse. changing the flow, starting a different cycle. This is a fascinating reading, Taurus, and I'm really looking forward now to diving deeper in. So if this is resonating with you and you'd like to join me into the second half of this reading for an extended look into these cards, I'm going to be using other decks, pulling to get more specific energy and how this is playing out in your life. So if you'd like to join me for that, actually just stick around for a second. I've got some announcements, some changes to the channel that are coming up, and new offerings I'm excited to share with you. So stick around. I'll explain that and explain how you can access your extended for November. Taurus, thanks for joining me here. I am so excited to announce that Unseen Hands is expanding. My dear friends and fellow healing artists, Kevin and Kelsey, are joining me to form Unseen Hands, a healing arts collective. We want to deepen your monthly shift experience by adding in astrology and a creative guidebook to help you work through your monthly shift process and inspire you with different perspectives and different kinds of artistic viewpoints on these monthly shifts. So to view your extended shift reading, you can head over to unseenhandscollective.com, where we are offering you an opportunity to explore our new offerings. So head on over there and we will dive deeper into your shift together.